Your Clemson Tigers face off with the Charleston Southern Buccaneers in week 2 of the college football season. And this is a game that Clemson must come out and dominate, must come out with anger and aggression. And I'm going to tell you why next on the Locked On Clemson podcast.
You are Locked On Clemson, your daily podcast on the Clemson Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Clemson family? Welcome back to the Locked On Clemson podcast, your daily podcast covering your Clemson Tigers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your boy, Damian Parson, always on the ones and twos. You can find and follow me on Twitter at DP_NFL. I'm a national scout over with the Draft Network, as well as the founder of the Scouting Room and part of the co-host team of the Locked On NFL Draft podcast. Guys, thank y'all for tapping in with me on this beautiful Friday morning. Happy Friday to you. Thank y'all for making Locked On Clemson your first listen today and every day. Thank you for being my everydayers. Guys, we have a really good show for you today. We're getting into this week 2 preview and the 3 things I think that we all need to and want to see versus the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. The team has to play with anger and emotion. All right. And number 2, you got to get in the trenches and dominate on both sides of the ball, and then building Cade Klubnik's confidence. How early, how soon? But before we kick it off, before we get into all of that, today's episode of Locked On Clemson is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code Locked On College for $20 off your first purchase. Typically you hear, don't wear your emotions on your sleeve. Yeah, not this week. The Clemson Tigers need to play angry. Set that tone early. I mean, ESPN has, when you look at their matchup predictor, it's a 99% chance that Clemson wins this game, and they only gave, out of respect for the opponent, gave them a 1% chance. But the funny thing about it is, as we know, our Clemson Tigers are coming in 0-1. The Charleston Southern Buccaneers are coming in 1-0. So who would have thought that would have been the case after week 1, right? But I need to see them. We should want to see them come out with emotion, with frustration, with anger. There was a report rather that came out that one of the, they didn't name it. It was a nameless quote and report, but that one of the senior players on the team, walking to the locker room after Monday night was pissed off, saying, "I'm tired of this." Understand that, you lost what? 2, I think they lost 2 of their last 3 games or something like that. Let me just look at the schedule from last year real quick just to make sure. But yeah, he was frustrated and everything. And basically, I think it was somebody that could have went to the league and decided to return. Yeah, 2 of their last 3. They lost to South Carolina. They beat North Carolina in the ACC championship game, and then lost to Tennessee. So yes, like that's it. Like, he losing 2 of the last 3, and he was frustrated. But I appreciate that frustration. But here's what I'm gonna appreciate so much more. You take that frustration out on Charleston Southern. I'm not advocating for nobody to get hurt, but what I'm saying is this: I need to see Clemson come out with a level of aggression that will set that tone and even make Charleston Southern believe these guys are trying to hurt us, man. You know what I mean? Go out there and dominate. Go out there and be physical in this game, from bell to bell, from whistle to whistle, from kickoff to from the 15-minute mark of the first quarter to what the quadruple zeros on the scoreboard at the end of the game. Clemson needs to come out and take out all the frustration, all of the anger, all of the disappointment they had Monday night. Take that out on Charleston Southern, okay? You hit those guys on defense and make them feel every hit you give, all right? Because at the end of the day, what you need to showcase is Monday night was a blip. Now, yes, Charleston Southern is not Duke. I get that. But I continue to say the film shows that we all know it. The turnovers inside the 5 on plays that should have been touchdowns, that flips that game. Even for the trolls in the comments, not thinking that, Duke's offense was out of rhythm. They didn't score. They were struggling in the middle of that game. That third quarter, Clemson had full control. You score both times in the red zone, and things look a lot different, okay? You don't shank a freaking field goal inside the 30. inside the 20, I believe, right? Hey, that's 17 points. They left what? I think they left about 20 points on the field. So yes, in this game, this is where you listen. Monday night, you better count that as getting the kinks out. All right, you better count that as getting the kinks out Monday night. This is not a get the kinks out game. This is a get it back game, get it right game. All right, this is we are going to put our best foot forward game. And it has to start with the mentality, setting the tone in the run game, setting the tone in the both sides, run defense and run offense, setting the tone. Everything you do, blocking, setting the tone, special teams, setting the tone. All right, everything needs to be on point, man. It has to be. This is not a game. You can't play the way you played and hurt yourself the way you did, on Monday night and then come out here and have a slow start against Charleston Southern. Absolutely not. You need to come out here with the mentality that we're going to score on the first drive. I'm not trying to see a punt. I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to see a punt. Defense, I don't want to see them get more than 3 first downs. I would prefer not to see them get 1. But I'm giving respect to the opponent. But you are too talented of a team. So, yes, week 2, Charleston Southern Buccaneers, play with anger. Play within that frustration, right? Play with that and bottle it up and listen. Athletes, period, always use something as motivation. So take the fact, Dabo Swinney, I need your energy to be the same way, coach, because everybody's saying it's you when it actually is Garrett Riley's offense, and he's the one who called it, and it's not. No, Dabo Swinney actually, I'm telling you now, Dabo Swinney didn't have anything to do with that. That was all Garrett. Okay. Monday night, what we saw was all Garrett. Just want to go ahead and nip that in the butt. That Dabo had no hand in that. That was all Garrett. So again, Dabo, they're saying it's you. You're saying you're the problem. They talk about the NIL. They talk about your weird comments about name, image, and likeness of God. Brother, that shouldn't have been something that you said. And I'm with you. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But that shouldn't be something that you say. So what I'm saying is this, guys. Dabo has to come out as a coach. I need him to come out with that energy. The whole national media, everybody's writing you off. Everybody's saying, well, Florida State, it's going to be Florida State, and probably North Carolina, Florida State, and Duke in the ACC championship game. All right, cool. Go out there and dominate this game. Go out there and play with the type of mentality. They say, you know what, guys? From here on out, we're treating every game like we're the underdogs. Every single, I can guarantee you when Florida State comes to town in 2 weeks, you're going to be the underdogs. Play everything like it. All right. You look at the NFL when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. They wore the dog mask all season. Why? Because they embodied being underdogs. Okay? Embody that, embrace that. No one's going to believe in y'all the rest of this season. No one. You got fans ready to jump ship, and guys, I'm here for you. I'm telling you right now, we're going to have these therapy sessions together. I'm not going to let you do it, okay? I'm not going to let you do it unless for some reason they lose the next 2 games against Charleston Southern and Florida Atlantic. With that, I highly doubt it's going to happen. But I did tell you guys that Duke was a legitimate contender. Like, they were going to give everything, and they did. But Clemson still beat themselves. So at the end of the day, set the tone, play with anger, play through your anger, play through your frustration, play with aggression, and again, set the tone. Let everybody know, okay, every week when you see any team on the schedule, Florida Atlantic needs to be looking at the game tape and saying, and coach is like, guys, okay, yeah, they're woken up. And sometimes an L isn't a loss. It's a lesson. And that's just kind of how I navigate life. Learn something from week 1. Learn something from that Duke Blue Devils game and put your best foot forward. But when you talk about playing angry, you want to dominate. What do I always say? Games are won and lost where? In the trenches. The Clemson Tigers must dominate the trenches versus the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. And I'm going to tell you why next on the Locked On Clemson podcast. Guys, did you know that 80% of men will experience hair thinning in their lifetime? While it's normal, it doesn't have to be your fate. You can get ahead of thinning with Nutrafol, because Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, the visible thickness of it, and your visible scalp coverage. All right. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements use physician formulated, natural and science-backed ingredients. Their drug-free, patented technology provides consistent, reliable results without compromising your sexual health. Because I promise you, no one needs that. Okay, no one needs that. So take your first step to visibly thicker and healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men. Enter the promo code Locked On College, guys. That is Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code Locked On College. The Clemson Tigers must dominate the trenches in week 2 versus the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. It is non-negotiable. If you can run for over 200 yards versus a Duke Blue Devil defensive line that has actual draftable talent that most people know, like Dwayne Carter, right? A defense that is extremely well coached with head coach Mike Elko and his staff. If you can run over 200 yards, if Will Shipley can run for 114 off of 17 carries, and Phil Maffa can hit nearly 70 on less than 15 carries, if I remember correctly, like if you can do that versus Duke, you can do that plus more versus the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. And this is something that needs to happen, guys. It is a must that the offensive run game, right? And I want to see them on the offensive line displace guys, okay? Be physical. Move bodies. Throw guys out the club. Create not just running lanes, right? Like, I think Merrill Hodge used to be on NFL, on ESPN. NFL on ESPN, and he'll say, you got to seal, you got an alley. I don't want an alley, all right? I want a freaking interstate. That's what I want our running backs to run through. Interstates, 4-lane highways. I need that for the run game. I need Phil Maffa to have 100 plus. I need to see Will Shipley with 100 plus. Heck, I don't even, you know what? Give me Cade for 100 plus. At this point, I want 300 yards from the run game. This is a game in the offense on the trenches on both sides of the ball, which I'll get to defense in a second. Offensively, they should have no answer for you on the defensive line. They shouldn't. Right? They should not. Now, they're going to come in, and I expect Charleston Southern to come in with some type of emotional, like in terms of like their energy trying to match yours. Like, we know that they're going to give us their best shot, right? And they're going to try to sustain and fight through it and all that good stuff. Don't care. I don't care. Don't care what type of energy they come out with. You guys are far more talented. Heck, you're far more talented than Duke, too. But Duke is Duke is still a talented team. But as we talked about, you're shooting yourself in the foot, in the leg, and in the knee on both sides of your leg, both sides of your body. You know what I mean? On the left and right. It's why you lost that game. So in this game, I want to see the offensive line just be dominant, man. I want to see sheer dominance. Blake Miller, a guy that for me right now, he's on a short leash. I did not like what I saw from him on Monday night. Truly, I didn't like studying his tape, last year. Right? So I need to see better. I don't want to see you on the ground. I don't want to see you stumbling. I don't want to see poor technique, poor footwork, bending. I want to see you be 6'6", 315 pounds and drive someone off the ball. I need to see that. It needs to happen. Right? I know Will Putnam and Marcus Tate gonna do their thing. Tristan Lay looked good after a rocky start. Walker Parks, you got to rebound too, brother. Okay, on that offensive line, you got to go out there and play better than this. So the offensive line, you guys don't know this. Play as a unit, play together, but especially in the run game, dominate. Pass protection, protect Cade. Give him those clean pockets. Allow him to get into rhythm and allow him to get comfortable. He never got into either one of those things early in the game. Because the earlier you get your quarterback into rhythm, the better. But we're going to talk about Cade a little later, right? We're going to finish that part of the conversation in the next segment. But here's the thing. Defensively, Rook, Tyler Davis, right? Peter Woods, TJ Parker, Justin Maskell, Xavier Thomas. I need sacks today. Tomorrow, I'm sorry. I need sacks, guys. I need you to go out there and dominate this game at the line of scrimmage. Don't give him anything in the run game. Force them to throw, okay? Force them to throw. The same way you did with Riley Leonard, that you allow his legs to be able to be a big deciding factor in one of their scores, early in the game. Don't allow none of that happen this week. Okay, none of that can happen tomorrow. What you need to do, what I need to see, is I need Xavier Thomas with 2.5 sacks and 6 pressures. Now, granted, he was a pressure machine, but I need him to get home. Excuse me, to get home against Charleston Southern. I don't know nothing about their left tackles. I haven't, you know what I'm saying? There's not really much film that you can find on these guys, truthfully. But at the same time, I need you to dominate these tackles. TJ Parker, go out there and continue to showcase the flashes, turn those flashes into trends, into consistency, and what you were able to do, right? Because you're gonna be relied upon. And it's crazy because that's two freshmen, him and Peter Woods. 2 freshmen that I expect to have high snap counts when we finish this season out. So Peter Woods, dominate. When they put you at one tech, that center has no business defending you. That center has no business blocking you. All right. Come out there with that type of mentality, that anger, that aggression. Play to your talent levels, guys, and dominate the line of scrimmage. We in the scouting world and in the football world, we call it resetting the line of scrimmage. Push them back where the running back gets the ball and the offensive line is in his face. Quarterback drops back and he wants to climb. There's nowhere to climb. Be better with what we call containing mobile quarterbacks. I'm not, like I said, I don't know if Charleston Southern's quarterback is mobile. I'm not worried about them. But get in the habit of rushing with discipline so you don't lose contain. So same Barrett Carter, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. tackling. Don't know what that was on Monday night. Fix that. We got to dominate the trenches, dominate the fronts. Tackle, bring these guys down to the ground. Don't allow none of this other foolishness. All right. We are better than all of that, guys. We are better than that. And I want to see it in the trenches. I need to see it. Stop the run. I need pressure from the edges and the interior. Those are the things I'm looking for on, what was it, 2:15 when this game kicks off on ACC Network. I'm going to be tapped in. I just, you know what I'm saying? We tapped in, kicking it with my son and my family, watching this game, jotting down notes, right? And then when the film comes out, I was going to do a film breakdown, but some stuff happened schedule-wise. But I'm going to do a film breakdown off of this game, and everything like that on the Patreon account. So I want you guys to understand that, like, I'm going to give you instant reaction, right? I'm going to give you that. But I'm also going to give you guys, film breakdowns. I'm going to do a pod on some of the stuff I see off of film, but to watch film with me will have to come from the Patreon account. But guys, listen to me and listen to me clearly. Domination is all that we expect. Nothing less. Domination in the trenches, in the front, all of it. Dominate Clemson. We need to see it. We need to see. But you know what we need to see? Garrett Riley, wide receivers, offensive line. Get Cade Klubnik, get QB1 comfortable, get his confidence on 10, on high, on 100. I don't care. Get it up there like a Lamborghini going from 0 to 60. Get it up there quickly in this game. And I'm going to tell you why that's important next on the Locked On Clemson podcast. Trying to buy tickets at the last minute for your favorite events should not be as stressful as it is. But it's very stressful because at the last minute, you're trying to hunt down the right price or the best price. You're competing with other buyers for the tickets. You're trying to avoid scalpers and scammers. You're trying to do all these different things. But let me tell you, Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. You will absolutely love the flash deals and last minute tickets that they have available. The tickets are easy to find and buy for every kind of event in your area, as well as you're going to appreciate and love the seat view images to show you what it looks like from where you will be sitting if you bought that ticket. Guys, Clemson fans, right now, if you want to go watch your Clemson Tigers dominate the Charleston Southern Buccaneers tomorrow, guys, go to Game Time right now. They have a flash deal for $5, 10% off of the ticket. You get $5. You can get a ticket for $5. But other than that, the top deck, their cheapest price is $8 even. Okay, $8 even. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. QB1 Cade Klubnik needs to find his confidence, his rhythm, and his footing early tomorrow when the game kicks off versus the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. He needs to find it. They need to get him into a rhythm early in the game. No, like I said earlier this week, no more of the 35 pass attempts under 10 yards. No, push the ball down the field. Build that chemistry, build that timing, build that rhythm and that connection with your wide receivers. If Adam Randall is 6'3", 230 pounds, right, and he's going up against a receiver in one-on-one, let's attack that, right? Let's isolate that and let's exploit that mismatch and let's go and attack it. Same thing with Cole Turner. Right, back shoulder fades. You gotta get the chemistry for these throws. Right, Cade has to get the ability and that trust with his weapons to where if it's one-on-one and you're running a go route, you're running a post, and we could again route concepts. Garrett Riley do better because if you're gonna run the post instead of having a safety sit over the top where it can be double coverage, yeah, you can run an over route, but you need to have something else to dictate and pull defenders out of their coverage lanes. Guys, listen, at the end of the day, eye candy is something that you got to give defenders. So if you're gonna run that post backside, front side, play side, how about you run a deep over that kind of flashes over his eyes, and now you cause him to stop on terms of his drop, his back pedal. He takes a false step forward and everything like that. Now Cole Turner's beat the guy. Not only does he win, but he's one-on-one. He gets separation. He stacks his defender, and now Cade can throw a confident pass and lead him into the end zone. Those are the type of things I need to see. You got to get into rhythm with your quarterback, man. He never got into a rhythm early in that game, and you saw it. You saw, because when you're not in rhythm, when you're not confident, when you're not comfortable, you're not reading the field well. You're not seeing things well. You're speeding up your process. You're bailing pockets when you shouldn't, and you're holding the ball in muddy pockets when you shouldn't. It's just natural. It's just what it is, guys. So when I tell you this is how I truly feel, this is one of the biggest things I'm looking for on tomorrow afternoon. I'm looking at Cade Klubnik's confidence. Get him a touchdown pass early, right? I understand. So I said in the last segment, dominate the trenches. Yes, that's what you do. Dominate the trenches, 100%. But here's the key to me, in my opinion. Here's the key. Not just you can run the ball whenever in this game. Truly, you can run the ball whenever. What I think you need to do is very, very simple. I believe that you need to come out aggressive on offense in the passing game, get Cade Klubnik feeling good, get the receivers feeling good. Guys, I always compare the two. Basketball, when your shot's not falling from mid-range, when your shot's not falling from three, what do? You get into the layup line and you see the ball go in the hoop, right? You get fouled, you attack the basket, you take a foul, and you shoot your free throws. If you're a good free throw shooter, it makes you feel good. Your confidence builds because now the basketball goal goes from looking like your child's mini rim to being a big rim, a regulation size rim to you, because you're seeing the ball go in the basket. It goes in the hoop, guys. So that's the same thing. These wide receivers, this quarterback, Cade Klubnik, Cole Turner, Antonio, all these guys need a confidence boost. Let's get the passing game going early. Because if you do that, it's going to be beneficial to everyone's mental psyche. Point blank, period. Because if you go out, say your first 3 drives, you throw 3 touchdowns. Cade Klubnik has over 200 yards in the first quarter and a half. Now you can lean on the run game if you want. Run the ball. But you know what? And I'm going to say this. If Clemson had beat Duke, I would say you pull them out of this game early. No. Since they lost to Duke, I say you play the starters through 3 quarters. At least 3.5. Right? If not 3 full quarters, 3.5. And then you let the young guys come in, the backups that you want to get their game reps and everything like that. Then you let them come in and finish off the last full quarter or last full quarter and a half. But at the end of the day, you didn't win Monday night, so you got to play a little bit longer. And I need to build some consistency. And it's not consistency just game to game, guys. I always talk about the snap to snap, play to play. You got to build that consistency, quarter to quarter, half to half, point blank, period. Be consistent from the get-go. And like I said, build that up, man, because this is an opportunity. Because what you want to do these next 2 games are confidence boosters. They're confidence boosters. Truly, guys. They are confidence-boosting games. Because if you go out there and you dominate Charleston Southern and Florida Atlantic, right? I think it's Florida Atlantic, Florida National, one of the two. But you go out there and you dominate these games, right? What does that what does that mean? What happens if you do that? Okay, so if you do that, then your Florida Atlantic is a game next week. So you dominate both of these games, right? 70-3, 50-3, whatever. You're just dominant. The offense, the defense, the players now winning cures all. So winning, right? 2 back-to-back games. While yes, you can say inferior competition. Don't care, but that's a confidence booster. So then you walk into Florida State on a high. You walk into Florida State feeling better about yourself, and you're ready to go regardless, right? Because not saying that they wouldn't be ready to go if they played Florida State this week after losing to Duke. No, they would be. But when you come off of a win, right, you built that momentum up. Now you're coming in with momentum, right? And now you go out there and you ball. So that's all I'm saying, guys, is at the end of the day, you got to go out here and take care of business. You have to go out here and take care of business. And Cade Klubnik is the key to that. Cade Klubnik is the guy for that. Cade Klubnik is everything, right? Because I mean, the next before Florida State comes in, they host Southern Miss, and then they go to play Boston College next week. Okay, so who knows? For them, they could be 2-0 going into that game. They could be 2-0 going into that Boston College game, and they could look ahead to Clemson, to us, and then trap game potential. But all I'm saying is this: get Cade Klubnik confidence up, get this offense, the passing offense going early, and you lean on the run game, you run the ball later in the game. At the end of the day, that is what it's going to take to make everyone feel better in the situation after week one's disappointing loss. So, guys, that is our show previewing week 2 of the Clemson schedule, heading into the game tomorrow versus the Charleston Southern Buccaneers. Build Cade's confidence, build the passing game's confidence early and often. Tomorrow afternoon, dominate the trenches, dominate the fronts on defense. Don't give them any breathing room. Dominate, beat these guys up, be physical, be aggressive, all of that stuff. And that goes back to the very first segment. Play with anger, play with aggression, play with a mindset to set the tone, and let everybody know we are not going anywhere. We are not dead. All right. We are not dead. We're still here. So, guys, thank y'all for joining in with me. Go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts to get the latest episode as soon as it's available on YouTube. Not just subscribe, like, comment for the algorithm. FTA, that's the phrase, for the algorithm. Comment, talk to me, because I will talk back. I try to get to you guys as much as possible, and I appreciate all of that. But go ahead, hit the bell notification also so that you are aware and you're notified whenever we drop content, on the Locked On Clemson podcast YouTube channel. And also, guys, let's continue to boost this channel up. We're over 700 subscribers. Let's get it to 1,000, man. Support your boy. Let's get it to 1,000. Like I said, after the game tomorrow, I will have, I'm kind of, jot down my notes and everything. And Monday morning, I will have a fresh instant reaction for you guys Monday morning. So stay tuned for that. In terms of Twitter, you can find and follow me there, DP_NFL. Talk to me, because I do talk back. Come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Go Tigers.